Hello and welcome, folks. Possum here. I have a video for you today for WWE 2K17, and it is not a mod, it is not a gameplay video, it is a standalone tool to help with drafting. Drafting is always one of those things that is extremely popular at the start of a game coming out for the WWE game series, as everybody likes to draft a couple of shows for themselves, and I wanted to create a tool to help with that fact. So let's open this up. This is a version 0.1 plus. You might get a bit higher version depending on when you watch this video. This is currently in beta. There are going to be bugs here and there. It's going to probably not be the best, but we have a good base here, and we're going to be working off this. And please let me know in the comments if you find any bugs or have any suggestions for it, and I'll try to incorporate them. First off, let's get to what you see right here. This is the player menu. You can set your player and you can set the CPU you're against. Now, this is Oliver. He only cares about the overall rating of a wrestler. This tool has been set to just be based on the WWE 2K17 roster base game, and we can start it out right off the gate with a draft. And now I have gotten the first place pick. The picks overall are randomized. So let's say I want to go down to the bottom. The newer wrestlers are down to the bottom. And I want to select, say, Bubba Ray Dudley. And so player 1 has picked Bubba Ray Dudley. The next pick, Oliver has picked Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now I get a pick of my own, and I can now pick Bray Wyatt. Now I've picked Bray Wyatt, and now Oliver has picked The Undertaker. Now I can go and pick in Dean Ambrose, etc., etc. Now, if at any time between any of these picks you want to see the overall rosters of any players, you can click this and you can see player 1's roster, Oliver's roster, and you can close out of this. And also, if you want to end the draft, you can end it there, and it'll show you the roster once again. And if you close this, it'll close the app. Now, this will also show you the players and roster XML. This will be a save, basically. And when you load it, it'll have that, and it'll also have the same roster. Let's close this and reload it. So you can see that it'll give you a random AI each time that you play. And each time you add a CPU, you will get another random AI. There are 26 AIs, each with their own little quirks. You can have a maximum of 8 total players, including humans. So you can go all the way to 8, or you can go to 8 human players. Now let's go into some of the options over here. We have Snake Draft, which is more traditional for those that are used to NFL drafting, in which the first place of the first round gets the last pick of the second round. So you can see that order sort of going on there. Linear, first draft pick overall gets the first pick in each round. Continuing, so very powerful to get first draft pick there. Rotation is sort of a backed off version of that, where getting first draft pick is good overall, but is less powerful as each round you're further back in the pick overall. Now, let's go to this big button over here, Edit Roster. Now you can see these roster members all over here. They're set in the pack file order from the PC games. I may later on go and have this sorted as we go further through this beta process. Now, if you want to, say, go up to The Rock and edit his stats, if you want to make him less good overall, you can save those changes. And now if you reload The Rock, you see that those changes are saved. Now, this is taken into account by the AI. The AI takes these numbers and actually drafts against them. So it should change depending on who you want. And if you add a CAW, say if you want to add a CAW here, I want to add the Mac. And I can save the changes there, and Mac will be there in the list. I can add another car on here and add TJ Perkins. Now, if you go and click another person, it'll load that and it won't actually save. So you want to be sure of what you're doing when you do these. I just didn't want to have people sort of scrolling through and accidentally making changes, which I do when I go through the WWE games sometimes. So I wanted to make a little confirmation button here that you have to click, and you can add 100 CAWs. I'm hoping to add mods pre-built into it in this little enable disable button. However, right now it has the wrestlers from the old games and also has some of the DLC. So if you have, say, Goldberg, you can add Goldberg, scroll back down, Apollo Crews. This is another quality of life adjustment I'm hoping to make, is to add all these. And also say if you want to go and remove duplicates, you can remove the highlighted ones. And remove the highlighted, etc., etc. So you can customize what your particular roster that you want to have on your shows. Now this one button up at the top here is edit and add teams. So let's add and edit teams. Would you like to add them and allow them as team picks? Now this will mean that if, say, instead of picking Bray Wyatt earlier, I would have to pick the Wyatt family, and I would get Bray Wyatt with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper and Braun Strowman. So let's load this up, and now you got this in here. Now if you want to change that so that Braun Strowman is by himself, you have to load, delete Braun Strowman, save. And that's good. The tag titles currently aren't set by default. They don't have the tag titles loaded in. I'm hoping to add that in a later update to this tool. But say if you wanted to completely delete a team, let's say if you wanted to break up the Lucha Dragons, you want to load them up, delete them, save. Not enough members, delete team, yes. And now if you go back down, you'll see that Lucha Dragons are not part of the roster anymore. If you want to, in fact, add a team, you can add a team here and change the name to, say, Power Trip. And I'm going to add Stone Cold and Triple H and save that team. And now that will be in the actual slot that Los Matadores, or rather, Lucha Dragons were in. And I'm going to save that little text change there. And now we want to go back to the rosters. And you can see these are the individual wrestlers. And you can close out of that. I don't think we need to edit any of their stats. And now we want to add in a few CPU players. So Paul prefers strong champions. Oliver only cares about overall. George wants to pick legends. X-Pac wants to hire young talent. Liger wants to pick lighter stars. Vince wants to care about history and weight. Yokozuna wants the heaviest stars. And Dean likes technical ability. We're going to give these a snake draft. And they have a roster limit of 16. You can hit start here. George has picked Ric Flair, so classic wrestler. American Alpha, young team. Oliver picked D-Generation X, which is a very powerful team. But we will see Bam Bam Bigelow picked by Paul Heyman. Vince picked Ultimate Warrior. Liger picked Bayley. Yokozuna picked Andre the Giant. Dean picked the Power Trip. That's good. And now Dean gets another pick as it snaked back around to him. He picked the Usos. And now Yokozuna picked the Natural Disasters. AJ Lee. Big Show 00. Chris Jericho. Brothers of Destruction. Seth Rollins. Tatsumi Fujinami. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And now X-Pac once again. The New Day. Oliver. Brock Lesnar. And you can view the rosters now. And these are the rosters as they sit at the moment. And if you go and you can just bash your way through here and see some of the bigger roster picks here. Bushwhackers, Rikishi, New Age Outlaws. And once again, if you ever want to end a draft, it'll show you the ending message and then you can close out. Now this will show Players XML, Roster XML, and Teams XML. That means that these are basically the saved settings that you edited in here, so that when you load it up, you'll have the same CPUs if you want them. You can have the same roster settings. These settings are not changed here, as you can set up a different draft style if you want. Say if you want to redo a draft. That's where that option comes in here. It does also have the teams enabled on here, although it doesn't show the teams like it did before. That's another bug. Once again, beta. This is like the second version of the beta. I released it on Smack Talks yesterday. If you have any bugs, have any suggestions, or have any other comments on this tool, please let me know on Smack Talks or on this video, or talk to me on Twitter, or add me on Steam. I don't mind. Please leave a like if you enjoy this tool. There will be a download link in the description. And if you enjoy this content, please feel free to subscribe. This has been Posum, and I thank you for your time.